In this masterclass, we are going to make a squid bag. This is my first squid bag and I use it as a reference. We will need the following tools: a 3mm laminate underlay, 2mm laminate underlay or some thin soft film, or a thick garbage bag for the blockers. A couple of pieces of bubble wrap, scissors, marker or a pen, tape measure, a couple of towels, vibrating plate sander. Mine is Makita 3711 with a piece of Ikea drawer mat attached on top. I also put a shoe cover on it. We will also need a basin, paint roller, soapy solution, watering can. If there is no watering can, you can make it from a plastic bottle. I will use different colors of merino wool. (18 to 21 micron wool only, no fibers will be needed. If you do not have a vibrating plate sander, you can use a mesh and cellophane gloves. I also use many massaging devices, like this cheap one. We put the device in a plastic bag and rub wool only with the part with smaller bubbles. For a bag handle you can use leather belt blanks. You can also use such ready-made handles. For them you need to buy rings and pieces of belt blanks to attach the handle to the bag. Textile handles may also work. Here on these bags I have those lovely closures that we will make on the squid bag. They open like this. They close like this, the same way here. If you do not want to use any textile or leather belts for the bag, then you can simply felt it. So to make a template we will need a 3mm laminate underlay. You can take for millimeters, but not thinner than 3. Scissors, a pen or a marker. Just keep in mind if you are making a light-colored bag then you will definitely need to erase the markings with a wet napkin. Tape measure or a ruler. Laminate underlay piece should be 55 cm wide, 130 cm long. We will place our large squid template, and the bottom will be just enough for a pocket. And for the closure, of course you can take a longer and wider piece. Now I will show you how you can easily draw the squid on a template. The size of our ready-made squid is 44 centimeters in length and 34 in width. Please note that it has some volume now, so it will be a little bigger when flat. The tail of the squid is about 22 centimeters long. We will talk about the handles later. First, I will draw everything on a piece of paper to make it easier for you to understand. There is nothing complicated here. Here is our piece of underlay. We divide it in half vertically and horizontally. What does the squid shape of this particular bag consist of? A circle and 2 parts. The upper one is the flap and the lower one is the tail. Flap will generally be easy to draw, we will just narrow it a little. And for the lower part here, draw a tail as you like. It can look like this or lean more to the center. There is nothing complicated here. This is the closure template. It looks like a wine glass, smaller at the bottom, larger at the top. There is nothing complicated here either. I will give you the measurements of this closure, and you can decide to make it larger or smaller. I don't recommend making it too large, because then we will need to make a larger hole in the flap, and there is decor planned for the flap. Here is our piece of underlay. I have already divided it in half vertically and horizontally. This template is 55 centimeters wide, 130 centimeters long. We will make the template now. Finished squid bag is approximately 44 centimeters in length and 34 in width. The shrinkage rate will be 1.4. It may be a bit more or less depending on the thickness of your felt and the size of the bag. Width of the template should be 50 centimeters added the shrinkage rate. Measure 25 centimeters from both sides. Do this again on the horizontal line, and this will be our circle. I first mark it with a pen, and then draw with a marker. Make diagonal markings to make it easier to draw a circle. That's it. It won't be perfect, but it shouldn't be. Now we need to draw the flap and the tail. In order to draw the flap, we need to measure 36 centimeters from this point. I will put the measurements here for your convenience. From this horizontal line, we will mark 18 centimeters to the top and to the bottom. We need to connect these lines. I will draw a line here to connect these points. It will also be 36 centimeters. Draw a line connecting to points and then widen to connect to the center circle. Repeat for the upper part. Here, this is what the top of the template looks like. Now we need to make the bottom of the template. Let's make an interesting tail for the squid. Measure 36 centimeters down from this point. Now you can bend the tail of the squid in any direction, or make it just straight down. If you decide to bend it, mark 22 centimeters like this to one side. I will first mark in with a pen and then outline with a marker. The tail basically looks like a leaflet or a petal. Upper part is drawn from the top of the circle. Here is where my narrowing starts, at a distance of about 16 centimeters. The narrowest part here is 9 centimeters. The widest part of the tail is 15 centimeters. The length of the tail itself is 28 centimeters. I will make a correction here, as it is 20, not 22 centimeters long. The template is ready. You can cut it out, erase unnecessary lines, and proceed to the layout. Now, let's see the measurements for the pocket and the closure. For the pocket, take a rectangle 27 centimeters long, 22 centimeters wide at the bottom, and 20 at the top. Round the corners at the bottom. Round them off, they should not be sharp. I will tell you about the pocket layout in the next videos. Now, let's talk about the closure. So many numbers. But there is nothing complicated here, don't worry. The full length from top to bottom is 23 centimeters, 14 centimeters up and 9 centimeters down from the narrowest place. The width of the narrow place is 5 centimeters. The width of the widest place is 11 centimeters, narrowing it up to 10 centimeters. At the bottom, the width is 11 centimeters, and we do not narrow anything at the bottom.